Is this the last time we see A.J. Brown in an Eagles jersey to you?
I think so. I don't know how you can sell AJ Brown to the Eagles moving forward. And it's not just the playoff game, but I think the playoff game was enough. All season long, really going back the past couple of years, AJ Brown has been a major pain in the butt. But the difference was in previous seasons in the Super Bowl run, AJ Brown on the field produced way more, it kind of justified for any of the extracurriculars that might happen off the field. This year, not so much. I counted at least two, if not three, drop passes in some of the most critical moments in the game last night. And then you see him fighting on the sidelines, getting in a screaming match with his head coach, Nick Sirianni, on the sidelines. So you are a pain in the butt off the field. You're a distraction on the sideline, and you're not producing on the field. What am I paying you $32 million for? What are you the seventh highest paid wide receiver in the National Football League for? I know what A.J. Brown is capable of and how just terrifying and dangerous he can be in this offense. But at this point, it just feels like it's run its course a little bit. He's too expensive to be this big of a problem.
I need Debbie Downer theme music. You are right. Everything you just
Womp
said is
womp.
1,000% accurate. But this is where I ruin everybody's fun. All right, so I believe that A.J. Brown should be with another team. I struggle to find the how. And look, I'll go to Over the Cap right now where they tell me, overthecap.com tells me that if A.J. Brown were cut pre-June 1st, which he wouldn't be, his cap number goes from $23 million right now to $72 million dead cap hit. That ain't going to happen. In fact, if they cut him post-June 1st, which means you can allocate the number over multiple years, his salary cap hit would be $45 million in dead cap. So an extra $22 million to cut him. If they trade him before June 1st, so if they trade him before the draft, it costs them an additional $20 million against the cap in dead cap money. So I hear you that A.J. Brown with the Eagles next year doesn't make any sense. And frankly, I keep looking at a team like the Patriots and Vrabel, who we know has a great relationship with A.J. Brown, and thinking, God, this only makes too much sense. Find a way to get A.J. Brown to the Patriots. But the only real way that you can do that is if you were to trade him after June 1st. And if you trade him after June 1st, a summer trade of a blockbuster player rarely happens because whatever you're getting in return isn't going to be a usable piece for you until, like, if you're getting draft picks, you got a whole year before you can use them. Plus, at that point, rosters have been built. Money's been spent. It's hard to trade a $20 million wide receiver in the middle of summer. So I think this is one of those moments where everybody's right. A.J. Brown shouldn't be a Philadelphia Eagle next year. But then I push my glasses up like the absolute nerd that I am, and I come in and say, but wait, guys, actually, it's really hard to trade him. It's hard to trade him, Caroline. So I'm with you. It should be his last game. But I think looking at the numbers, Howie Roseman is much more likely to have to look inside the organization and figure out how to fix whatever else is making A.J. Brown angry instead of simply looking at getting rid of the player.
They're not going to cut him. Just want to put that out there. It would be stupid. That's dumb. They can't do that financially. You're not going to just cut a guy like A.J. Brown and get zero assets in return. Everyone is smarter than that, especially Howie Roseman. So they're not going to cut him. I think it would be a post-June 1st trade. We've seen this before. Sure, we don't see total and complete blockbuster trades happening in the middle of training camp, but it wouldn't be the first time that this has ever happened. I remember talking about a DeAndre Hopkins trade to the Tennessee Titans deep into July. So is it ideal? No, it's not. But also, you bring up Mike Vrabel. A.J. Brown has familiarity with Mike Vrabel and the offense that they want to run. You don't think a team like, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills would be interested in adding it to their weapons and their arsenal in the receiving core? 1,000%. And the Eagles might say, we can't trade him until after June 1st. And my response would be like, okay, that's fine if we get a talent like A.J. Brown. Because with all of this, with all of the frustrations and the friction that exists in Philadelphia, A.J. Brown is still one of the most talented wide receivers in the National Football League. I mean, even with everything that we've seen with A.J., the reading the book on the sidelines and the tweets and the fighting with Nick Sirianni on the sideline, there are a lot of coaches and general managers out there that'll say, that's fine, we can work with that. Maybe he just needs a fresh start. We can fix him. So yes, with the contract that huge, it's not the most simple thing in the world, but I do think that there will be teams out there that are willing to kind of do a little bit of gymnastics in order to make AJ Brown work. What would you get in return for AJ Brown? 2 firsts?
Oh, I wouldn't give 2 firsts for him anymore. I mean,
a first and
it's not. I give
change?
a first and something. Yeah, like a late first and something. Again, going back to the Patriots. Like if I'm the Patriots and I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, if the Patriots go, let's say, to the Super Bowl and they have a bottom 2 pick in the draft, yeah, I'd give that to AJ Brown all day, every day, especially because Mike Vrabel knows him. I think that's the biggest thing. When you make an acquisition like this, it's about the devil you know versus the devil you don't. Like everybody can think they understand what it's like to have a guy in the locker room. It's different when you actually know. Mike Vrabel knows what it's like to have AJ Brown in the locker room every day, knows how to get through to him as a man and as a player. Like I think if I'm the Patriots, I'd be willing to pay a little bit more if I'm the Patriots than, let's say, some other random team, Green Bay, whatever, just sitting around that wants to acquire a wide receiver. I'm just making a team up. I'd be willing to pay a little bit more if I'm the Patriots because I know exactly what I'm getting into. I'd hedge that bet a little bit if I was a team not named the Patriots and I may not have as much of an idea of what AJ will do to my locker room.
Right. And I think that's an important thing that would have to be discussed with AJ Brown is it worth it? Is the on the field product going to be worth whatever extracurriculars might exist there? AJ Brown is an elite talent in this league, 100%. How much of what we're talking about now, exactly what we're seeing, the fighting on the sideline with Nick Sirianni, how much is that's just who AJ Brown is, and how much is that AJ Brown's just fed up with everything in Philadelphia? Because I don't blame AJ Brown for being fed up with everything that's going on in Philadelphia. I thought this Philly offense this season was a crime against football and humanity. AJ Brown is the kind of guy that has the ego, and I don't say that in a bad way because I think wide receivers have to have a certain level of ego, have to have a certain level of razzle dazzle that I'm better than you, I can beat you on any given snap. And AJ Brown is such a competitor that he wants to be able to get the football and wants to be a contributing factor to this offense. So I do understand his frustrations, but it hasn't delivered and it hasn't come to fruition in the biggest moments, and we saw that on full display against the Niners.
Well, there's one thing that is certain. There's no way Philly just runs back whatever this year was because their offense was broken. Dan Orlovsky has smartly pointed out that last drive was 10-play. It was a 10-play drive where they ran the same play 4 times. So there is something absolutely broken with the entire offense for Philly, and they're going to have to get it figured out. Our notifications are on just like yours are to see if the bat phone rings at some point, what Shefty tells us is coming next for Philadelphia. All right, we'll keep breaking it down. Safe? What's happening with things? Is it? I don't think this is, again, me being my logical guy. I don't think you can fire a coach a year removed from a Super Bowl that just went to the playoffs again. I think Sirianni's safe. I think they're going to make wholesale changes on the offense. What do you think?
I think Nick Sirianni's safe. Kevin Patullo has to be gone. Like I'm shocked that we haven't gotten that yet. I wouldn't be surprised if we get that in the next 5 minutes. Kevin Patullo has to be gone. I think Sirianni is safe, but I have some big question marks about Sirianni moving forward.
Yeah, and I do think part of it, like I hear you, Patullo is like the whipping child for all of us because this offense has been tragically bad. But Sirianni's expertise is also offense. So my thing is like
he's that coach.
And we've spent the whole year screaming about what's wrong in Philadelphia. I mean, over and over and over again. We see it. If we see it, Sirianni sees it. My thing is like, why'd we wait to this point to try and fix it? Why are we here, even if we believe that it's an offensive coordinator issue? When your head coach is an offensive specialist, he should see it and have suggestions for fixes long before we get to January when you're no longer playing football. So I have a hard time. I agree with you. Patullo, I think I'd be shocked if he's not gone by the end of our show. But above and beyond that, I'm really curious to see what the organization says about Sirianni basically standing there and watching the Titanic sink through the course of the season, because that's what it feels like they did in Philly.